So you're not getting promoted, even though you work really hard. You're doing everything they told you to do. You work late, you say yes, you double check everything. You carry your team when no one else steps up, and still you watch someone else get promoted. Again, not because they work harder and not because they deliver more, but because they are seen, and for some reason you're not. You start to question yourself. Am I not good enough? What am I missing? It eats at you every day because you're not lazy. You're not entitled. You're just tired. You're tired of being invisible. You're tired of wondering when it will be your turn. You were told that hard work will take you to the top. But here's the truth. Hard work is expected. It's not what sets you apart. If that's all you're relying on, you're already behind. Now, my name is Myles, and I'm an international management consultant and a personal growth mentor. And for over a decade, I have helped many professionals break out of career stagnation by understanding the real game behind promotion. Today, I'm going to be revealing a lot. You see, promotions are not always fair, and they're not always based on merit. In this video, you will learn the 7 reasons you're being overlooked and the 7 things you should start doing to get that next promotion. And I'll also tell you how to know if the promotion is highly unlikely, even when you've done all the right things, so you can make a decision. Now, whatever you do, don't miss this part because it's the blind spot that keeps so many hardworking people trapped. Stay with me because once you see the full picture, you'll never work the same way again. Let's dive in. Now, here's the truth that no one tells you. Hard work alone won't get you promoted. I know it feels unfair because you were probably raised to believe that if you just work hard enough, good things will happen. Put your head down, do great work, and eventually you get rewarded, right? In the modern workplace, nah. You see, hard work has become the baseline, not the differentiator. Everyone's working hard now. And when everyone is working hard work stops being impressive. And here's another painful truth. Loyalty is overrated. I've seen people with 10, 15, even 20 years of faithful service get passed over repeatedly. Organizations don't promote people for being loyal. They promote people who grow, adapt, and show they can lead at the next level. In fact, organizations are more likely to promote people who bring in fresh perspectives. So excellence and potential are more important than tenure. Now, the bottom line is that promotions aren't always fair. There are a variety of factors that play a massive role in whether you get promoted or not. And if you don't understand these factors and manage them strategically, and you're just hoping that your good work will speak for itself, you're probably going to get disappointed. So let's talk about the 7 reasons you're not getting promoted. Now, reason number 1 is lack of visibility. So your work is great, but no one sees it. You can be absolutely brilliant at your job. You can be solving problems, driving results, making everyone's life easier. But if the people who make promotion decisions don't know you exist or don't know the extent and value of your work, then all of that excellence is happening in a vacuum. I call this the invisible excellence trap. You're doing amazing work, but it's happening behind the scenes. Visibility means your work, your impact, and your potential are known by people who matter. It's not enough to just do work, okay? You have to ensure that your work is seen, understood, and appreciated by those who hold the keys to your advancement. You have to be strategically seen by the right people, your boss, senior leaders, and key decision makers. Sometimes you're not visible because you're working in the shadows, okay? You might be behind the scenes, and so some other people take credit for your wins, or you're too quiet about your wins. See, contrary to popular belief, your work doesn't always speak for itself. Sometimes you have to speak for yourself. You may also be stuck under a boss who doesn't advocate for you. So ask yourself, who in your organization has influence over your career trajectory? And do they know what you've accomplished in the last 6 months? If the answer is no, that's not just a missed opportunity, that's career sabotage. Now, reason number 2 is no strategic relationships. You're not in the right circle. Now, we've all heard it, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Now, that saying isn't entirely true, but it's not wrong either. People who get promoted consistently have something you might not: advocates. Now, advocates are senior leaders who speak up for you in rooms where you're not. Now, these aren't just mentors. Mentors guide you, they give you advice and they help you grow. We're talking about sponsors. Sponsors are advocates, who actively push for you. They fight for you when opportunities arise. Let me paint a picture. It's Monday morning, the leadership team is in a conference room discussing who to promote to the director level. Your name comes up and someone says, I don't really know much about their work. Imagine someone at that table says, actually, let me tell you about the project she led last quarter. She saved us $200,000 and completely transformed how our team operates. I've been watching her trajectory and she's ready for this. Now that's the difference between people knowing your name and important people championing your career. If you don't have a sponsor, you're missing a massive propeller of influence. And building these relationships isn't about kissing up or being fake. It's about building genuine professional relationships that create mutual value. So the question is, who in your organization knows your career aspirations? Who would go to bats for you when the opportunity arises? If the answer is no one, or I'm not sure, then you need to fix that. Now, the reason number 3 is poor perception and weak executive presence. Now, there's this thing called executive presence. It's very hard to define, but you know it when you see it. It's that person who walks into a room and somehow commands attention without demanding it. It's confidence under pressure. It's clarity when speaking and emotional intelligence that reads the room perfectly. It's the quality that makes people think this person should be in charge. And here's the brutal truth. If people see you as technically brilliant but socially invisible, if they see you as too hesitant to take charge when it matters, you're probably not going to get promoted. Perception isn't always fair. Someone might form an opinion about your leadership potential based on how you handled one stressful meeting, or how confidently you presented in front of senior leadership, or whether you speak up with good ideas or just nod along. It's unfair, but perception is always powerful. The question you need to ask yourself is, when people think about the next level of leadership, do they picture you in that role? This might be exactly what's holding you back. Now, reason number 4 is you're over-reliable. You're too good at your job to let go. Now, here's a plot twist that might surprise you. If you're too good at what you do, they may not want to move you. I know that sounds backwards, yeah? You think that being excellent would fast track your promotion, but sometimes excellence could become a prison. Now, if you haven't trained anyone else to do your job, if you have made yourself the only person that understands that critical system, you've become irreplaceable. And when you're irreplaceable, they keep you exactly where you are. So the organization may give you more money, but they don't give you the title or the career advancement that you want. So ask yourself, if you left tomorrow, would your current role fall apart? Have you trained a successor? Have you documented your processes? Have you made yourself promotable by making yourself replaceable? Now, reason number 5, your work isn't seen as strategic. Now, let me tell you about 2 employees. There's Sarah and there's Mike. Now, Sarah works incredibly hard. She's in the office early. She stays late and handles every operational crisis that comes up. She's the person everyone goes to when something needs to get done quickly and correctly. She's reliable, she's competent, and absolutely essential to daily operations. Now, Mike also works hard, but he works differently. He spends time analyzing market trends, proposing new revenue streams, and leading cross-functional projects that align with the company's 5-year vision. His work directly ties to business growth and strategic goals. Now, guess who gets promoted? Of course, Mike, because promotion isn't just a reward for effort. It's often a recognition of impact, and in many organizations, impact is about contributions to strategic priorities. Not all roles are valued equally. If you want to get promoted, you need to start working on things that leadership actually cares about. You need to move from being operationally excellent to being strategically valuable. Now, reason number 6 is that you haven't developed the next level skills. Now, here's something most people don't realize. Every promotion is essentially a different job. Being great at your current role doesn't automatically mean you're ready for the next one. So promotion isn't just the reward for your past performance. It's a bet on your future capability. Now, every level in an organization requires a completely different set of skills. So at entry level, what you need is execution. But at mid-level, you need coordination and communication. At senior level, you need strategy and leadership. At executive level, you need vision, influence, and enterprise thinking. Each level requires a shift. Do you think strategically, or do you just execute well? Can you manage people, or are you just great great at managing tasks? Can you handle organizational pressure, or do you crumble when things get political? The people who get promoted consistently are already operating at the next level before they even get the title. They're proving they can handle bigger challenges before they are given bigger challenges. So ask yourself, what skills does the next level require that you haven't developed yet? And more importantly, how can you start demonstrating those skills in your current role? See, don't dress for where you are, dress for where you're going. Now, reason number 7 is that you're avoiding office politics. Now, I get it. The word politics makes us think of manipulation, backstabbing, and playing dirty games. But completely avoiding office politics doesn't make you ethical. It actually makes you powerless. Now, here's what office politics actually is. It's understanding how decisions get made. It's knowing who influences them. It's building relationships that create mutual benefits. Politics isn't about being fake or manipulative. It's about influence. It's about alignment and understanding the informal power structure that exists within your organization. Now, every company has an organizational chart, and then there's how things actually work. There are people with titles who don't have real influence, and there are people without impressive titles who shape every major decision. There are alliances, priorities, and unwritten rules that determine who gets opportunities and who gets overlooked. See, the people who get promoted understand that career success isn't just about individual performance, okay? It's about how well you navigate relationships, you align with organizational priorities, and position yourself for opportunities. Now, you don't have to become someone you're not, but you do have to understand the game you're playing. Now that we've talked about the 7 reasons you're not being promoted, let's talk about how to reposition yourself for promotion. Because understanding what's wrong is only valuable if you know how to fix it. So point number 1 is focus on value, not effort. Stop trying to be the busiest person in the office. Start trying to be the most valuable. This means that you have to connect your daily work with measurable business outcomes. Things like revenue growth, customer retention, process improvement, cost savings, or innovation that drives competitive advantage. Learn the language of business impact. Instead of saying, I worked on 5 projects this quarter, say, I led initiatives that increased customer retention by 12% and saved the company $150,000 in operational costs. Now, leadership doesn't care about how hard you worked. They care about what your work accomplished. Now, the second point is increased visibility. This isn't about shamelessly promoting yourself. It's about strategic communication. Volunteer for cross-functional projects that put you in front of senior leadership, okay? Speak up in meetings with insights and solutions, and share your wins, and lessons learned with your managers and key colleagues. The goal isn't to show off. It's to ensure your impact is visible to the people who influence promotion. You can create a simple monthly update for your manager that highlights your key accomplishments and their business impact. Make sure your good work doesn't happen in a vacuum. Now, the next point is to develop next level skills. Start operating at the next level you want to reach. If you want to be a manager, start demonstrating leadership skills now. Mentor junior colleagues, lead cross-functional initiatives, take ownership of complex problems. If you want to be a director, start thinking strategically, okay? Propose solutions that align with business objectives. Present ideas to senior leadership. Show that you can see the big picture. Don't wait for the promotion to start developing these skills, okay? Show you're ready before they give you the opportunity. Now, the next point is to build strategic relationships. You need to identify key players in your organization. These are people who can mentor you, advocate for you, and keep you informed about growth opportunities, okay? But don't just network. Create real value for them too. Offer to help with their projects. Share insights that might be useful to their work. Be genuinely interested in their challenges and goals. The best professional relationships are mutually beneficial, not one-sided. Now, the next point is to show you can lead. Leadership isn't about having a title. It's about initiative and influence. Take ownership of problems, even when they're not officially your responsibility. Coach and support your colleagues, step into projects that stretch you and showcase your potential. Let leadership see you as someone who is already operating at the next level. Make them think this person is already leading. We should just make it official. Now, you also need to understand the system. Every organization has its own promotion dynamics. Some companies promote based on tenure, others reward innovation, some value relationship building, others prioritize measurable results. Learn your company's pattern. Who gets promoted and why? What behaviors are consistently rewarded? What are the unwritten rules about career advancement? Understanding your specific environment helps you align your strategy with what actually works where you are. Now, the next point is to advocate for yourself. This might be the most important point. Make your aspirations known. Don't assume people know you want to move up. Don't wait for someone to ask about your career goals. Schedule regular career conversations with your manager. Ask for specific feedback about what you need to develop. So be direct but professional about your interest in growing within the company. Create your own development plan with clear milestones and timelines. If you don't advocate for your own career, who will? Now let's talk about when promotion is unlikely and it may be time to leave. Now here's something I need to address directly. Sometimes you can do everything right and still not get promoted. Not because you're not good enough, but because the system isn't built to recognize or reward you. So look out for cultures that are riddled with bias, where race, gender, age, or personality traits unfairly impact who gets opportunities. And if you're facing a glass ceiling that no amount of excellence can break through, look out for cultures where mediocrity gets rewarded while high performance gets taken for granted. Sometimes the structure isn't simply there. Leadership roles might be locked down by long-standing people who look like they're not leaving anytime soon. You could be completely ready for the next level, but there's literally nowhere to go. If you're constantly told to wait your turn, or asked to take on high-level responsibility with low-level authority and pay, that's not advancement, that's exploitation. So what do you do when you realize that the game is rigged? Stop blaming yourself. It's not about you, it's the organization. It just means that you're in the wrong place. Start documenting your wins. Keep a detailed portfolio of the value you've added, the problems you've solved, and the impact you've had. You'll need this for your next opportunity. See, sometimes the most powerful promotion doesn't happen inside your current job. It happens when you choose to walk away and step into the future you've been preparing for. My advice, would be to exit well. How you leave is important. I have a video on that I'll link in the description. Now, if you've been doing everything right and you still feel stuck, this video should make one thing clear. Waiting quietly won't get you promoted. You need to be visible, strategic, and ready for what's next. And if you've done all that and it's still not happening, then maybe the promotion you need is elsewhere. If you are considering leaving your job, you need to watch the next video where I talk about the 7 signs you should quit your job before it's too late. So hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.